Welcome in another edition of SportsBookReview.com's Roundtable discussion. Me, Flash, and Jay going to hit on some topics, but today, once again, we are going to focus on the NFL. Look, the action is not on the field right now. It's off the field. Some top-level players going from team to team in free agency. Also, some major trades going down. There is a lot to discuss. I'm going to go right to immediately here, Jay. When we look at some of these free agent moves, the top guys are moving. The middle-level guys might slow down in the market over the next couple of days, and certainly the lower guys to try to fill out those rosters. But some teams are moving and shaking across the NFL. Are there any moves that really stick out to you right now and say, you know what? This move is really going to help in this next coming season?
I can give you a move that really makes me angry. I mean, Houston Texans head coach Bill O'Brien, already the worst coach in football after what I saw in the playoffs this past year with the meltdown. Now he comes in, he gets the worst general manager award, right? I mean, how do you not build a relationship with a player so fundamental to your offensive success than DeAndre Hopkins, best wide receiver in football, now no longer with the team? And how does he fill the void, the gunshot wound he just gave himself? He signs Randall Cobb. Come on, bro. I mean, absolutely brutal. Now, I mean, you know, I can go down a list of, like, team needs. Obviously, Houston needs wideouts. They need offensive linemen. They need defensive linemen. But that move makes me really angry. I think the Vegas Raiders have a big problem at wideout. Other than Valdez-Scantling, I'm not impressed. Who do they pick up? A 58,000-year-old tight end in Jason Witten, and they take your boy from the Eagles, Nelson Aguilar. I mean, I don't understand what these teams are doing, Donnie. It's brutal.
No, it is amazing. And I guess the theme of this offseason might actually be the Houston Texans, because you're going to see a lot of stuff coming out here with us on sportsbookreview.com. And one of those common themes is going to be the Houston Texans and what we anticipate and expect from Flash. I'm going to come right back to you starting with this team. This team had maybe the best wide receiver core in football. You see stars moving in and out of this football team, and a coach that can't get out of his way and seemingly still gets handed the division on a platter year after year. That may stop this year, but Bill O'Brien, Flash, what is he doing?
Yeah, obviously you've picked on my main bugbear, and here we go. He's got no one to answer to now. You've just handed him the keys, and he can do as he pleases. And that's the biggest problem in this organisation. I think it was the biggest problem maybe with Garrett down in the Cowboys in Dallas. But the big thing is now with the Texans, you look at them and go, okay, go and build. You've got everything you want on the offense. Now go and just make sure you cement up them holes in the D, and you have got a proper, legitimate chance in the AFC next season. But no, personal things get in the way, which you cannot let happen in professional sport. I could go on, and I mean, I went on and did an interview and said, he's got to be one of the coaches that's sacked. Not just sacked, he's now been promoted to do as he pleases, and he's first. Mismanagement comes springing to mind straight away. He can do as he likes, and he's made the wrong decisions from the get-go, which then spreads. It's like a domino effect. Everyone now is looking over their shoulder going, hang on a minute, I'm a regular starter, I contribute to this team, but I could be gone if I don't make the coach smile. Got it all
yeah, I
wrong
guess if you went down to Houston there, Flash, and also, you know, we see all these political polls. How's the president doing? How's your governor doing in state? I'm not too sure how well he would be graded, Bill O'Brien, in the city of Houston. We'll keep it moving on a couple other things, because I do think some teams have really made some nice moves here right out of the gates. You know, Philadelphia Eagles finally getting their starting cornerback, who you figure will be able to help with locking down number one wide receivers, but also some underlying ones. Because when we take a look at teams who you maybe factored in who still need some help, I'm not too sure really what's going on in the Minnesota Vikings. Look, they're retooling their secondary. They lose Stephon Diggs. This is a wide receiver-rich draft, so you can get some help. But Diggs moving to the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills now anticipating taking that next step in the AFC East, because, hey, New England's still the top dog, and we'll dip right into this. Brady is gone. He's gone down to Tampa. We'll talk him in just a few moments. But now you look, who's that next team to develop? Jay, I know you're really close in the AFC East. Obviously, it's the Jets, the Bills, the Patriots, and the Dolphins. Some team is going to make that next move. Who do you think is winning so far in free agency, and maybe a move that can be sneaky here that one of these teams can add that can put them over the top to finally knock off the New England Patriots?
Well, it can only be the Bills. It can only be the Bills because obviously you're coming from bargain basement in the Dolphins and the Jets. I mean, the Jets just want to consolidate. But the big problem you've got with the Patriots is you write them off at your peril. I mean, if they're going to go with Stidham, then he produces. For me, they've not got enough threat downfield. Now, have they not got a threat downfield because it was Tom's arm? And now all of a sudden you've got, okay, offensive coordinator. It's just an absolute bag of sweets at the moment, and you don't know if you're going to pick out one of your favourites or one that's going to make you go, yeah. Patriots for me, I think you've got to fade, and I think the Bills are really going to come on strong, and it'll be touch and go. But I think they've done some great business.
Jay, when we take a look at the AFC East here on this end of it, being a Jets fan, you got to be licking your chops. You say, boy, Brady's finally gone. The impact that it's going to have or possibly not have. But look at the New England Patriots going out and get Brian Hoyer. Okay. Are we going to lean on Jarrett Stidham? The Buffalo Bills taking the next step saying, look, we're going to retool. We're going to add another weapon on offense for our young quarterback. But your team is still laying there in the weeds. Second year under Adam Gase, Sam Darnold looking to take that next progression, maybe have a full season of play other than getting, an illness that's going to miss it. But they went through a lot of injuries. Who is going to take that next step and maybe a layer up and say, you know what, I'm looking for the Jets to maybe add this guy or, hey, just Tom Brady out of the division. It's going to be a free-for-all now.
Yeah, Donnie, I think the edge right now, if I'm betting a future in the AFC East, it's Buffalo. I think that they've made the best moves so far in the offseason. Miami hasn't really impressed me. My New York Jets, like you and I had this conversation the other night, I'm still not sold on Sam Darnold. I have to see him take a really big step this year for me to even believe that he should be the starting quarterback of the team in 2021. So I think that I like the moves that Buffalo's made. They pick up Stephon Diggs. They pick up a solid defensive end in Quentin Jefferson. A cornerback in Josh Norman. He's old, but serviceable. I mean, they grabbed Vernon Butler, defensive tackle. So, I mean, I think Buffalo still needs help in their secondary. I think Buffalo still needs to pick up a running back and a couple more offensive linemen. But if they do that, I think they deserve to be the favorite by a mile in the AFC East because Jarrett Stidham is not going to get the job done for the New England Patriots. I refuse to believe that Belichick will have him out there in week 1. I still think they're going to make a move somehow. So I would say Buffalo right now, I like to win the AFC East.
Yeah, I think we could agree, Jay. Probably in the AFC East, the least amount of question marks are probably coming out of Buffalo. So that's going to put them on the top of the heap for me, and we'll see what happens with New England. But Flash, look, it's the topic of du jour of the offseason here, right? We're talking about the quarterback of the New England Patriots now heading down to Tampa. Some people see it as a massive upgrade over Jameis Winston. Some people see it like myself as old people go to Florida to retire at this time because we still know the top dogs in that division, the New Orleans Saints, look like they're ready to give it another run. Flash, talk to me a little about Tampa Bay adding Tom Brady and what it means to that division down there. Good or bad move?
Well, I think it's probably a great move if you're trying to get a little bit of an upside in the mentality of the players because they're sitting around with an absolute NFL legend, Hall of Famer. But you look at Jameis Winston, and did he really do a lot wrong last year? I thought that he was absolutely outstanding. Obviously, he gave the ball up on many of occasions, but you make an adjustment and go, well, hang on, look at the positives that he brought out. If you just get him to realise that he hasn't got to go for the killer throw every single time, then I think that they had everything that they wanted to go forward. Maybe they were going to sit him back and just watch Tom and Harry looks after the ball. But for me, I would have kept Jameis Winston and said, okay, do everything you did positively. Concentrate on that. And if it's not there, chuck it away. And if he halves his interceptions, then they are good. Because listen, they didn't struggle to put any points on the board in any game last year. Every game was an over. So that tells me that the quarterback was doing his job. He just gave it up a few times. And you get that with inexperience. So for me, I wouldn't have gone there if I was Tom Brady. And I wouldn't have looked for Tom Brady if I was the Bucs.
Winners and losers and free agency and all NFL talk despite the games not going on. We got you covered right here at sportsbookreview.com. We're going to come to you daily with multiple videos specializing in a roundtable, which has a lot of people chiming in a lot of different sports designed to put you on the right side and get you ready for when these leagues do start up. We do want to thank you for tuning in today. For me, for Flash, and also Jay, this has been sportsbookreview.com's Roundtable. Join us again.